All right. Good game rooms.
You really yelled at them.
I told you. So very vast, and they range from person to person. Sorry, they range from fortunate gamer to fortunate gamer, because this isn't a necessity people have from house to house, from home to home. It is an extra room that becomes a hobby. And from what I've learned this past weekend, I got invited over to a friend's house, and I knew he was a gamer beforehand, and I had the urge to ask the question, let me check out your game room. Such a, I don't know, just a curiosity. I want to see what you got, basically. And upon checking it out, it was definitely different from what you, CRT have in their collection. This was a PC gamer's game room. And this was co-opted with his wife, which I thought was pretty interesting, because I was like, there's no way I can co-op with that much noise, but they're able to make it work. And to them, that's their spot.
So you found game rooms of interest to you this week, right?
Yes.
Like, the fact that I guess not everybody, that's one key factor that we got to hit on, is that not everybody has the space to have the game room, but everybody desires to have a space of their own.
You described it as a place of leisure.
Yeah.
A room can definitely provide that for you, with the allotted space you have. And that's something I learned firsthand myself. I wanted to do so much things with my game room, but unfortunately this space is a little tight for what I want. I wanted a whole couch. I wanted so many TVs. I wanted a flat screen. I wanted the big old XBR.
Yeah.
But I had
cribs. You wanted crib style.
Yeah, I wanted cribs. I'm like, hey, everything all in one.
I do remember watching one with Shaq, and he has like his own basketball court, of course, and then he has like a whole theater room. He has another hangout room. So I think we all kind of are chasing this idea, but I like the idea of whatever you have, even if it's in your bedroom, even if you just have like a little station, a little shrine. Even if you only have one covey, but you fill it with your most prized possession. And that's got to be everything for you.
You're hitting it on dot. I think I showed you in CRT back when I didn't have a place of my own. I just had my parents and Miranda's apartment. And I was like very limited on space. One bedroom. Just had a 4 cubby, 2x2 cub.
And you know what? Like, that got you pretty far.
That was the nook. That was the space, and we're glued to it like little kids with fucking neck problems after 5 minutes.
You could have a Super Nintendo, PS1, and I want to say GameCube, but it's so expensive. Maybe a GameCube back then, or if you already had the games. I mean, you can go really far with just those.
PS2 over a PS1. You have two catalogs right there. PS2 was just crushing it, and makes sense why their sales were so high.
Yes, and PS1 is vast, greater than most people give credit to, because I keep finding stuff.
Oh yeah,
and it's just never ending.
Every game, a PS1 game, just throw it in a lot.
There it is. You haven't tried it.
Extra 5-10 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one, you're asking why I even went through this. I bought a whole bookshelf, was able to install it. It came in Monday, installed it that day, didn't set up all the consoles, and then barely yesterday I was able to set all the consoles up. And so I had to basically, this is such a pet peeve, at least with the retro stuff, cable management is, I don't know, it's a hurdle, because you have to know not necessarily know where everything's got to go, but you have to connect all the power, all the video. You have to make sure you have enough link. You have to make sure it's not ugly, it's in the way, don't have some type of entanglement. And then also, if you don't have an 8 and 2, you're limited on the inputs that you can output.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to pick and choose which consoles were going to get me the most mileage.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that topic, plus seeing somebody else's game room and just thinking about how our game rooms have changed. I mean, yours has gone through a drastic evolution. It initially started on a flat screen. You noticed that the N64 looked gross. You're like, why? I don't remember it looking like fucking shit.
I remember we had the HDMI retro cables.
Yeah, I thought that was the best way.
Supposedly, yeah. And it wasn't like just your initial recommendation. It was through a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, this is how you play Super Nintendo today. And you're just like, man, but I can't read shit.
Yeah.
Everybody's game room is a little bit different. And it just goes to show you how vast, how many variants there are to each type of game room, right? Some people may have I think you mentioned like a sports game room, maybe a PC game room, totally different layout. But it's nice to see everybody's unique little, what is it, the thing that they really cherish? I think that's maybe what it's kind of saying.
You value.
Yeah.
What do you, and I guess
on money. Like, what do you even have a job for? But it becomes necessities. It becomes a house, a car,
Hmm.
kids, like
Yeah, but
school.
that doesn't
And it,
fuel you to come back home, somewhere to
like,
sleep at.
like, what would you do um, if you didn't have to take care of these things?
Hmm.
Eventually, you have to find that one thing that drives you purpose, entertainment, fulfillment,
Hmm.
joy. I guess you could just say, just a satisfaction that
Hmm.
has nothing to do with work. I mean,
Uh,
it could be an art room for
uh,
whatever,
yeah.
or what is your thing beyond money?
Yes. What is your space?
Yeah.
And we could fill this whole space with different things. And at least for gaming, I've seen that, you could prioritize a lot of different things.
Yeah.
Something that we valued a lot was visual fidelity. Going back to that instant topic, when shit just wasn't legible, you're like,
Mhm.
okay, I got to get the right monitor. What
Yeah.
is the right way to view this experience? So that became a priority. We have to bring in CRTs, which are a huge, bulky,
Yeah.
uh, item to get into a room. It eats so much space. And then, oh, well, something still doesn't sound right. Like the audio is a little
Mhm.
off. So now you invest in these speakers, and depending on how far you want to go, I mean, that's what I'm realizing. Like if I wanted to get vertical tower speakers, I'm kind of limited on that. I got to work with what I got.
Yeah.
These Canto Auras,
They're
they
pretty damn good.
yes, I think the only thing I'm missing is a subwoofer, and you can have a sub out to various things.
I'll say I think the only thing is they're probably not adjustable. Can you adjust the equalizer?
No, you got left, you got right.
They're a little punchy, but I think with the sub, you could
Yes,
probably like turn it down. And anyways, to your point, like you got to work with what you got, and then there's a beauty in that. There's a
yes.
joy in that. There
Uh,
really is, because you start to think about, okay, well, what is it that, like you said, what game's going to give me the most mileage? I can
mhm.
only pick 3 or 4, and I got like 12 of them. So what? And most of these I can run on another system.
Yeah, or you can even challenge the idea of emulation. It's not always a practical thing, and
Yeah.
once you have emulation, it's because you let me borrow the
Yeah.
handheld Ambernick. I was like, okay, I have every game and it's accessible, but that doesn't mean I'm playing it the right way, or nor do I want to play it like this. Booting it up, I have to go through RetroArch. I have to set the settings. Sure, I have save states, but sometimes, at least for the retro content, sometimes just flipping on a switch, getting it on, and loading it up as intended is probably the easiest and most ideal way, at least for us. There is a market of emulators that just swear by it. This is the way to do it. This is how I game.
Maybe this is a bit judgmental, but okay, let's say you went to somebody's house and they didn't have a game room. Like, what would that say to you?
It means is every room occupied? Are you fighting for space? Is the garage is the man cave now?
Well, let's just say they have.
Are you talking about
They,
for a gamer to not have a game room? Because
uh,
I would
well,
think
regular person, maybe
Mhm.
somebody not a gamer,
Mhm.
would you still expect that they should have
They
something?
should have something
Yeah.
that's unique to their home. I feel
Yeah.
like I'm seeing this around. I mean, now that I moved in, at least for the garages, every garage is
I was
different.
gonna say the garage is the next thing. Is the garage? If you have parking space, can really
Mhm.
say a lot about the person. It could be a weight set. It could
Mhm.
be what else could it be? A man cave,
It could be a workbench to them where they
poker
do.
table.
Yeah, the garage is where you're not confined by space. If you're not, you don't have bulky shit in there.
Yeah,
Like in my
you can
case,
put towers in there.
yeah, that'd be a good spot for towers.
Yeah.
But it's hot.
Piss off everybody. Even the TV that you have in there now is pretty loud. You can hear it throughout
Yes.
the streets.
Oh no shit.
Yeah, like you can.
But right now, summer, it sucks right there.
Yeah.
Anyways, to the point, we got to prioritize different things, and can't all have it all at once. Whether you even have the game room or you have a small game room, you have to pick or choose what you have to put into it. And then that's the situation I'm in. I mean, first got here, you saw I had to move a whole bunch of crap.
Felt like you probably had a lot of space, and then it quickly just
Yeah, it gets eaten up real easily. And I was like, oh, I want people to fit in here comfortably.
go vertical.
Yeah, and then well, now I got to choose, and there's a lot of problems to basically tackle. And my whole point to this is I guess, to advise the new or upcoming future gamers, because I do have a lot of friends that they don't necessarily have a game room, but they have an apartment with gaming stuff in there. And then when I talk about it, all of a sudden they want a game room as well.
Yeah.
Well, think about what you want in it. Make a priority if you want to go retro, modern, you want the PC route. All these questions, well, hopefully when they get the answer, can direct it to a better, more ideal game room.
Yeah, it's a bit of a roadmap trying to figure out throughout. Let's just say for gaming, like
Hmm.
trying to figure out what route you want to go. How much money do you want to spend? You won't believe over time how much money you spend.
Yes.
So I think I would focus on maybe that one thing that you really cherish and like, what is that one thing that you really, really, really want beyond everything else? And then just start there. And eventually it'll grow like a parasite and
Yeah.
be infected with the itch. I got to go buy some more shit.
What was the thing that was driving you to in the game room? Like, what was the thing that you wanted and it kept driving you? Because
Super Nintendo.
that was a good one, especially when you had like you had such a catalog just from the start. All you had to do was brush off your old games, and you had a solid stack to go with.
Yeah, it just kind of built upon my my original foundation that was just kind of buried in the ashes. I don't know what it was.
Fuck all this wasted time.
You got me Battletoads, and that's originally what kicked everything off. Then
Mhm.
we were like, all right, let's how do we get this thing going? Pulling out the in a sense the SNES from the attic, you know,
Mhm.
like dusting it off, finding the cables. Oh, we got the cables, we got the
Right.
power brick, everything works. Oh, it doesn't work, and then you just like
It
one
was
thing after another.
it was a nice feeling to get it back, get it operating. And I was like, fuck, even after like a few decades, this thing is
Mhm.
still operating. Yeah, maybe there's a few issues here and there. I will say wired in today's generation does suck. There's definitely some
But you
pros
can
and
start
cons.
there, and that's
Oh
I think
yeah.
that's kind of the point of like, how do you get started? Well, you don't have to go all in. You start off with the wired. You start off with your favorite console. You start off with, if you can, a $20 CRT. You know, like
Yeah.
a hood special. You know, like you don't have to get all crazy. So if you really want it, you can run off your flat screen.
Mm-hmm.
Or you can even most people have a Switch, right? That
Mm-hmm.
was Nintendo's goal. Everybody getting a
Mm-hmm.
Switch. So likely you have a Switch. You can go into your Switch online account and find different games that you like and then go from there.
There's a lot of options, a lot of ways to tackle it.
You can you can also copycat, or you can maybe start with a copycat and then find your own your own little path, you know, things that you actually like.
Yeah.
How many
This
games have we bought that are like trash, you know?
that was a
But to just stick to like the main
Well, that was another
things.
thing. I mean, I know when we met CRT and saw his collection, one, we were overwhelmed, but two, it opened our eyes to another avenue. And I
Mhm.
feel like every time we talk
CIB.
CIB, man, I didn't think that was
I think it,
yeah, yeah. And then you go look and $800 CIB cartridge for Chrono Trigger.
a whole shelf of CIB, SNES,
He
Genesis games.
and
I mean, that's pretty badass.
He told us he came in a pretty good time to scoop them up because all this is through the roof, especially post COVID. Everybody was going back and doing the same thing.
Which I would recommend. Don't buy loose shit. I think it's kind of known now, but it's not worth the sacrifice unless it's like a Genesis or.
I'm gonna say at least for the disc items,
Yeah.
don't buy CIB. Like,
Yeah.
there's no point. You're gonna look back. You're gonna go through 5 blank cases and
Mhm.
not know where your game's at, assuming you go this far in the journey. But a couple of talking points. I just wanted to talk about game rooms, potentials in them, the growth. It's always an evolution.
We'll be back in 3 months to talk about game rooms again. You know, like it's always evolving. There's
Yeah.
always a next step, a next frontier. Oh, did you see this person's game room? They had a freaking
What's the
200-inch flat screen.
what's the 200? What's the retro tank? I mean, they like had their channel or a video dedicated to just
My life in gaming.
my life in gaming,
Mhm.
and it went through 3 different people, and they all had different setups.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's cool. And it was nice that they, put together this long format video, took their
Mhm.
time, broke it down. And I mean,
Yeah.
like I said, each game room's different depending
Mhm.
on what they prioritize, depends on what they have or the constraints,
Yeah.
what they're willing to work
Their
with.
constraints and their likes,
Hmm.
because they you can tell they each kind of really lean towards certain things.
Yeah. And I was like, oh, is that a PVM in the back?
Yep.
But anyways, hopefully I'll make good, well-informed decisions and, stay gaming.
Yeah.